Ooh, time to get that paper, man. Yeah, what up, gang? What up, squad? It's your boy, AreYouTherious, the realest, the coolest, the trillest young king. Only two clever men as we speak. Welcome back for another lit banger, man. We got, I was going to say Pokimane. I'm lying like a motherfucker. We got Penguin Zero in the building, man. He got Pokimane editor situation is crazy. And we're gonna jump right into it. If you're new, subscribe, like the video, comment some more bangers. Let's get it.
There's a crazy clip from Pokimane's stream going viral right now that I really want to talk about, but it also made me want to speak on a story I've never told about an experience I've had that's somewhat similar to the one she describes here, at least in terms of creepiness. And, well, now I finally have a reason to get that baby off my chest here, so that's gonna be cathartic. Let's dive in.
Lethargic.
Many years ago, when I was like super
I don't see what everybody else sees in Pokimane. Like, I don't see it. Like, she cute. Like, that's about it. Like, she that's it. She's cute. Nah, she ain't bad. She ain't fine. She ain't all this other stuff. So I don't see it, what everybody else see. I don't see why niggas can't stop drooling over her, nigga. Like, she's not that bad, bro. Like, at all. she's where I'm from, she's regular, nigga.
super omega active on YouTube, and I was working with a lot of different editors. There was one editor in particular that I would work with a lot because his edits were really good, but he had one major problem, which was that sometimes out of nowhere his videos would just be like a week or two late.
I'm not gonna lie, nigga hit me up on my in my emails talking about he want to edit my videos. Now, granted, I don't edit my own videos, but if I could pay somebody to edit my videos, he said $5 per every minute. Do y'all think that's a good idea or a scam? Normally, when I wait like a couple days, because if it's like a spam or whatever, it'll pop up like, no, this spam, leave it alone. It's been 2 days and it ain't popped up spam, so I'm like, damn, should I trust the nigga? But I mean, even if I just send him a video, it ain't like, I mean, he could post it all he want. It ain't shit, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as I don't send him my YouTube information. But I don't know, y'all let me know.
Months go by, and
Yeah, Paul.
he messages me out of the blue, and he says, "Hey, do you have time to talk? I'm ready to finally tell you why I've been struggling so much with deadlines."
In the history of the human race, I don't think there has ever been a good ending to the sentence, "Hey, do you have a minute to talk?" That always precedes the most vile shit you'll
I remember when I was younger, when girls used to tell me, "Yeah, we need I want to talk to you," or "We need to talk," or you know, just shit like that, bro. My stomach would drop into my ass, bro. Cause I'm a lover, bro. Like, and I hated that. I seen niggas that would just dog women, even in high school, bro. Just not give. Eventually, I got like that, cause I done got my heart broken too many times. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, fuck it. I'm finna just go crazy, right? But before that, I was a simp, nigga. And yeah, simps always lose, bro. I don't care what you say. Simps always lose, bro. You ain't gotta be no hard ass. Just, you know, show that you don't give a fuck.
ever hear in your life. I can't even imagine a situation where you'd hear that sentence and think anything other than the most negative thing you'll ever hear is about to happen. Like, imagine you're in heaven and the Lord pulls you aside right in front of the pearly gates and he says, "Hey, you got a minute to talk?" Well, you immediately assume you're just going to hell. Like, there's just no world where that sentence ever precedes good news.
Tell me why.
Or he could be putting you into another body and you're going back to Earth. You gotta look at glass half full, right? I get another chance at life, because once you at the pearly gates, you dead. You know what I'm saying? But if I can get another chance at life, I'll take that.
He proceeds to tell me that the reason why he would sometimes turn around videos a week or two late is
because he was addicted to meth or corn, or he was a corn star and he would have to go do shoots and shit.
because he couldn't stop
Stop what?
touching himself.
Bro, was I right or was I right? I said addicted to corn. Now, I don't know if he looking at her yet or just corn in general, but I knew it. I called it.
I was trying to pick which word to use.
I'm gonna buy some more.
to me, his, in a way, employer of many, many months.
Stop for a second and
That's
really let that
crazy.
stew in your noodle. Let it marinate for a bit. How Coomer-brained must you be not only to do this degenerate act of just fucking beating your meat to a streamer's gameplay footage that you're editing, but then tell her that the reason you're late on some of the edits is because you can't stop squeezing your hog to the footage that she sends you. There are so many layers to this onion here. Let's just start by picking apart the most obvious. Why? Now, I know in the most severe cases of porn addicts, they'll sometimes try and communicate directly to the porn star by, like, leaving comments or sending messages or whatever. Weird. And that's always the saddest shit you'll ever see. That'll bring a tear to even the strongest man's eyes. Occasionally you'll see those moments where dudes try and directly communicate to the porn star, leaving comments on their posts saying things like, "Can't wait to watch this one when I'm off work," or "When my wife goes to bed, that's when the bad boy will play. Thanks for providing me with tonight's entertainment," or whatever. Like, just leaving these desperate posts, you know, cock in hand, giving a salute, like, "Thank you, madame, for your service. This will be a legendary gooning sesh." But even in those cases, you're communicating.
When he talk like that, I feel like they about to go whack they shit. Like, whack that motherfucker. Whack-a-mole, nigga.
With someone they don't know. This guy was her editor for many months. And he was not only jerking off to the content he was being sent, which was just gameplay videos, I imagine, or like just chatting stream moments, nothing even sexual, and he was still choking the chicken to it, fucking playing the skin flute, and then had the gall to tell her that he was doing that, is just incomprehensibly unhinged. She was his boss. She was employing him, so he basically went right through HR, bypassed that protocol, went straight to the top of the food chain, kicked in the door, and said, "Listen, boss, I'm fucking obliterating my wiener, and what are you gonna do about it? That's why I've been late on my deadlines." Like, I don't think he came in with that.
But how weird is that, bro? No, for real. Like, that means he could. That means even at a regular job, if he found somebody that he fancied, he would have to be in the restroom whacking his shit all day.
I bet he was like super shy about it. He was probably like, "Oh, Pokimane, so I know I've been kind of late recently, but it's only because I was, how do you say, jerking off to your work."
When I tell you I've never halted a conversation so fast, because I'm like, you are the person that I send like hours of footage to. I don't want to know what you're jacking it to. I don't want to know more. I shouldn't even know how much I know right now. I shouldn't know.
I'd actually argue that it's better she did know this, no matter how awful it is, but that way she can get the fuck away from this weirdo ASAP. Just say, "Take a hike, Buster. This is fucking terrible."
But I felt so bad. So when he's like, you know, like, this is like an addiction of mine, I genuinely felt really, really bad. So I still paid him for months. What the hell do I do?
I mean, honestly, bro, first of all, like, as long as he's not touching you, sending you threatening messages, all that, you know what I'm saying? That's when things, you know, you might need to get a restraining or, you know, all that other stuff. But if he just whack-a-moling, it's like, all right, well, do I find another editor? And it depends on how good his work is. If his work is phenomenal, shit, why not keep him? Just be like, all right, he probably gonna whack his shit to this one. Honestly, bro, well, you gotta actually be careful because niggas do be going the extra mile. So, but honestly, I'm just speaking, you know, if it was me, I actually tease a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? Show a little, you know, have my shirt a little down, you know what I'm saying? Like, I dropped something. I'll get that motherfucker something to look at. You want to look at something? Watch this, nigga.
Fire him? Am I even allowed to fire someone? Because they're...
That's definitely towards the top of the list for the best reasons to fire someone. That actually might be reason number one why you could go ahead and can somebody. Because they can't stop fucking beating their cock to you, their employer. And they're also not doing their job well by being 1 to 2 weeks late. Which, by the way, is a long time of just fucking...
That's a long YouTube time. Because when you do Twitch and you react to stuff or do whatever, like... That's money you're missing for a week. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a long time.
and gooning here. This degenerate would miss his deadlines by a week or even up to 2 weeks because he was obsessively polishing his scepter to his employer. You 100% can and should fire someone like this. It's not like the Better Business Bureau is going to defend him. You're not going to have agents show up at your door knocking and be like, hey, listen, we know what happened here. You discriminated against this kind, gentle sir. You fired him just because he was obsessively masturbating to you. Well, I'll have you know this is a free country, ma'am. This is a civilized society. You can't fire someone for that. There's no crime. What is the charge? Busting a nut? An immaculate, gooey nut? This is democracy manifest.
You okay, Paul?
Like that just wouldn't happen. But I actually understand why she was hesitant to do that. And this is where I'm going to get into a story I don't think I've ever told. I'm pretty sure I haven't. Where I had something somewhat similar happen a long time ago. Not to this level, but something closely related. So a while back, I used to just accept any voice acting role I was offered by any human being with a pulse on the planet. If they said they needed voice lines done, I would do them for free just because I really enjoyed doing it. It's actually how I met Jackson, and if you have ever watched the official podcast, you'll know that our X-Men origin story between Jackson and I's friendship is that Jackson actually scammed me through this process. He sent me an email asking if I'd be down to do voice work for his upcoming game, and then sent me like some in-game screenshots and promotional screenshots that were actually just Dark Souls images that he photoshopped to fit his game style that he tried to sell me on. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm definitely down to do voice work. And it turns out he never had that game, he just wanted to play games together, and we did. And ended up becoming extremely close friends, and now we make God Slap together. Like, he's been a friend of mine for almost a decade now. And it came from that. But there's definitely a dark side to that. The Sith Lords definitely did exploit that very stupid thing I used to do, just accepting any voice acting roles ever from anybody. So I think this was after I had met Jackson and after we were friends. I can't quite remember the exact chronological timeline here, but I received a very interesting email from a very peculiar man that, under any other circumstances, probably would have triggered red flags in a sensible person's mind. But for me, I saw the word like voice acting opportunity and I was like, I'm in. Say no more. So I emailed him back saying that I was absolutely down to do this and when should we get to work on it. So we communicated back and forth a little bit and eventually set up a Skype call, because this is when Skype was still popular. I think one of the best things that's happened in modern day is that Skype has died. That was legitimately just like fucking official malware. That was the worst program that ever saw success. And I am embarrassed that it ever got as popular as it did.
I remember that shit.
This was a different time and day back then. So we went in Skype and we had our first voice call a couple days after that initial email came through. And it wasn't like super weird. He conducted himself pretty professionally. He was trying to tell me about the game. I don't remember all the details around.
So I'm not here for the whole video. I just want to hear the Pokimane situation.
It was voice acting work, and I wanted to get the reps in. And so I just said, yeah, like, I'm super on board. Let's stay in contact. You can send me the script and whatever else you need. And that was kind of the end of our, like, introductory call. And man, did I open Pandora's box. Pretty much immediately after that call, he would start messaging me on Skype often. And it wasn't about the project all the time. Sometimes it was just about his day, which I would engage with. I'd be like, oh, it's really interesting to hear about how your day's been going. Thanks so much for sharing. And then he'd start tiptoeing into like some other small talk. It started to feel like he was interrogating me sometimes, where he'd be like, so what'd you do today? And I'd tell him and be like, oh, so like, you didn't really respond earlier. I thought you were just doing something really important, but you were just hanging out at home. That's kind of
like your woman, you know? Bro, that sounds like a fucking woman. That means that nigga wanted to be your woman, bro. No matter how you slice it. If the nigga wondering why you wasn't texting from between 2 and 3, that nigga wants to be your woman.
kind of weird. Like, what? Are you sure that's all you're doing? I was like, brother, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not like always on Skype. He's like, oh, no, that's fine. You just didn't respond to me. And then he'd start gradually asking more and more questions, like questions you would ask someone on like the most awkward first date imaginable if you were some kind of Reddit mod. He'd be like asking me certain things like about anime and just like general interests and shit. And this is right before I had graduated college. I was still in college because I remember he was asking me about how my schooling was going. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's going well. How's your project going? And he'd tell me some shit that I know wasn't happening. He's like, oh yeah, I got a lot of work done today on the game. I was in C#, really just fucking in my flow state. Like, I took like the limitless pill, and man, I programmed fucking 15 trees, and I have 17 actors doing mocap for me, and they're all martial arts specialists, so the hack and slash animations are top notch. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Do you have like that script or anything ready? He's like, oh, it's still being worked on. And then he just keep kicking that can down the road and change the topic. Like, but enough about the game. Tell me about exercise physiology. What's that like? It's like, brother, you're not my mom. Like, why are you checking in like this? I don't care. And we're not really like close or anything. So why would you get upset if I don't like respond to you in a timely enough fashion? Like, it was just a disaster. So this went on for like a few weeks of this kind of stuff happening every couple of days. And I was ready to just wash my hands of it and just say, all right, this voice work isn't worth, I'm not getting the juice isn't worth the squeeze, as they say. So I kind of just started to let that peter out. I'd really very rarely respond to him, so he'd send me like a few messages over the course of like a week or two that I just would ignore. And then it got really bad. This guy was sending me like deep messages, and some of them just very unsettling. And then he eventually sent me a message talking about how he's about to end it all. And, he doesn't expect me to respond since I haven't responded in so long, but he just wanted me to know how much our friendship meant to him and all that. And I fucking freaked out, immediately responded to that when I saw it, and then he once again just switched gears and was like talking about my day and his day and this and that, and once again, just going down this small talk and then, like, interrogating me, like, well, why haven't you been responding? So that I had to come up with a story like, oh, just haven't been checking Skype for the last few weeks, just stuff going on. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, okay, yeah, I'm sure, and then getting upset and whatever. I recommended him getting, like, professional help, which he claimed he was doing and seeking, but it wasn't really working. The only thing that really helped him was our little chit-chats back and forth. So, obviously, I kept that door open, and luckily, the frequency of his messages was much slower, so over the course of a few months now, the messages were far less often. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but it still just felt miserable to keep this communication open. It felt like a hostage situation where, like, if
why am I listening to this nigga sob story, bro? God damn, did the nigga off himself or what?
Similar to how Pokimane didn't immediately fire that guy because she like felt bad for him or was like a little afraid of what might happen or whatever. It's easy to take a step back when you're not involved in it and just be like, oh, this is what you should have done. But when you're actually in one of these like really weird fucking situations on like a personal level here, it's just a little harder to do that. So I do understand that, but again, definitely the right course was firing.
Yeah, letting that nigga go. Damn, that shit hit 2.7 mil in 16 hours. How does this man get these views? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, bro. I thought you was in the view, baby. How does this man get these views? Like, that is crazy. I'm trying to get like penguins. Now, I know he been in the game for a while, but like, I'm trying to get like that nigga. Trying to see what that bag about. You feel me? But anyway, man, yeah, that shit was weird as hell. Like I said, as a female, you gotta be cautious, bro. I was joking earlier when I said that I'd give them something to look at, because the more you give somebody, the more they gonna want. And like, it starts off him just whack-a-moling. Next thing you know, he gonna want to get physical. So he gonna try to find you, And nowadays, it seems like it's easy to find motherfuckers if you really know where to look, So you gotta be careful. Put your bunghole up, boy. But anyway, man, okay. If you're new, subscribe, like the video, comment some more. This girl. Now pause drinking it. Okay, we're gonna close it up because y'all drinking on my damn video. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. Anyway, y'all got babies drinking. It's Big Red, so it's Big Red. So don't tweak. Don't tweak on me. All right, man. I love y'all. See you gone. Oh shit! Hold on.